Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Andi Nur Afifah Asdan from class AG3, 5 semester, majoring in English, Language and Literature at Alauddin State Islamic University of Makassar. In this video, I will discuss 9 important points about discourse analysis. So, in this video, I will answer and explain several questions related to my final test assignment, namely discourse analysis. Let's try. For the first question is describe the position of discourse analysis in the theory of linguistics. And my answer is discourse analysis holds a significant position in linguistics by investigating language used in real-life context. It goes beyond traditional linguistic study, emphasizing the social, cultural, and pragmatic aspect of communication. By scrutinizing spoken or written interaction, discourse analysis enrich our understanding of language as a tool for meaning making and social construction, contributing to a more holistic view of linguistic phenomena within the broader field of linguistics. For the second question is, what are the difference between discourse analysis and error analysis in terms of their linguistic background, theory, and content of analysis? Explain your answer. And my answer is discourse analysis and error analysis are distinct approaches within linguistics. Discourse analysis focuses on the study of language in use, examining larger units of communication like conversation, text, or spoken interaction. It aims to understand how language constructs meaning in various contexts. On the other hand, error analysis is concerned with identifying and analyzing error made by language learners. It primarily stems from second language acquisition theories and aims to uncover patterns of mistakes to improve language teaching methods. In summary, discourse analysis explores language in context, emphasizing the social and communicative aspect, while error analysis concentrates on language learner mistakes to enhance language acquisition strategies. They differ in their theoretical foundation and the nature of linguistic phenomena they investigate. For the next question is, what do you know of the following terms? And my answer about discourse analysis. The discourse analysis is research method and approach used in linguistics and other social sciences to study the use of language in communication. It examines both spoken and written language to understand how language constructs meaning in various contexts. Discourse analysis aims to uncover patterns, structures, and social implications of communication, shedding light on how language influences and reflects social interaction, power dynamics, and cultural norms. Researchers analyze elements such as tone, context, and linguistic features to explore the underlying mechanism of communication in specific situations. The next is about exchange. The term exchange can have various meanings depending on the context. It could refer to a platform where goods, service, or financial instruments are traded, such as a stock exchange. It might also relate to the act of giving something in return for something else, like a currency exchange. The next is about communicative competence. Communicative competence refers to the ability to effectively and appropriately use language in various social contexts. It goes beyond just linguistic knowledge and encompasses understanding cultural norms, social conversation, and the ability to interpret and produce meaningful message. This concept was introduced by linguistic Delheims and later expanded upon by others, including Michael Cannell and Meryl Swain. Communicative competence is essential for successful communication, emphasizing not only grammatical proficiency but also the pragmatic aspect of language use. And the next is about move. The term move can have different meanings depending on the context. It could refer the physically changing one's location or position. In strategist games, move often relates to a player's action or decision within the game. Additionally, in the context of dance or sport, a move might signify a specific sequence of action or steps. The next is about language form and function. Language form refers to the structure and arrangement of linguistic elements, such as words, phrases, and sentences. It involves aspects like grammar, syntax, and morphology. Language function pertains to the purpose or intention behind using language. It focuses on how language is used to achieve communication goals, convey information, express emotion, or influence others. Together, language form the function encompass both the structural and communicative aspect of language, emphasizing how language elements are organized and how they serve specific purpose in communication. This concept is crucial in linguistic analysis and language teaching. The next is about discourse patterns. A discourse pattern refers to the organization and structure of spoken or written communication. It involves the way language is used to convey information, ideas, or narrative. Discourse patterns encompass various elements such as coherence, cohesion, and rhetorical strategies that contribute to the overall flow and effectiveness of communication. Understanding discourse patterns is essential for analyzing and interpreting extended pieces of text or spoken language, as it helps reveal how ideas are connected and presented within a larger context. The next question is about what are the scopes discourse analysis in spoken discourse, and explain your answer. And my answer: in the context of spoken discourse, discourse analysis could refer to discourse analysis. The scopes of discourse analysis in spoken discourse are broad and involve examining various aspects of communication. Here are some case scopes. The first is about turn taking. Discourse analysis explores how participants in a conversation take turn, manage interruption, and signal transition. It looks at the dynamics of conversation and the patterns of speaking and listening. The next is about speech act. Discourse analysis examines the illocutionary act within spoken discourse, focusing on the intention behind utterance. This includes analyzing how speakers perform action through their speech, such as making requests, giving comments, or expressing opinions. The next is about coherence and cohesion. Discourse analysis investigates how spoken discourse mentions coherence and cohesion. It explores how speakers use linguistic devices to connect ideas, mention flow, and ensure that their communication is understandable. The next is about pragmatics. Discourse analysis in spoken discourse involves studying the pragmatic aspect of language use. This includes understanding implied meaning, indirect communication, and social context influencing spoken interaction. The next is about genres and register. Discourse analysis examines different genres of spoken discourse, such as casual conversation, interviews, or formal speeches. It also considers variation in register based on factors like formality, familiarity, and the purpose of communication. The next is about nonverbal communication. While primarily focusing on language, discourse analysis in spoken discourse may also involve considering nonverbal elements such as gesture, facial expressions, and body language to understand how complete communication context. The next is about turn constructional units. Analyzing how speakers construct their turns in conversation, considering the organization of sentence or phrase within a speaking turn. The next is about repair strategies. Discourse analysis explores how speakers handle misunderstanding, correct errors, or clarify communication breakdowns in spoken discourse. The next question is about analysis the following extract of conversation to find out its discourse sequence, moves, functions, and internal structure. M. Jen, I really want to apologize to you. Where? What for? M. I am really sorry about that I said to you that other night. Where? Oh, forget it. M. I can't. It was a terrible thing to say. Please forgive me. Where? Okay. Enough. I accept your apologies. And my answer is discourse sequence. Initiation, move. M expresses a desire to apologize to Jen. Response, move, where asks for clarification, prompting M to specify the reason for the apology. Initiation, move, M acknowledge the specific incident, expressing regret for something said the other night. Response, move, where dismisses the issues, saying, oh, forget it. Initiation, move, insists on apologizing, emphasizing the severity of the comment and asking for forgiveness. And the next response, move, where eventually except the apology stating okay, enough is enough, I accept your apologies. Moves and function. Initiation moves initiates the conversation by expressing a desire to apologize and then specifies the incident. Response moves where response by seeking clarification initially, the downplaying the issue, and finally accepting the apology. Internal structure. The conversation flows patterns of apology initiation, response seeking clarification, apology specification, response downplaying the issue, and final acceptance of the apology. Overall, the discourse sequence involves acknowledge a mistake, seeking forgiveness, and concluding with the acceptance of the apology. The next question is about explain the following terms of written discourse, and my answer is the first is about micro and macro analysis. Microanalysis involves examining small-scale elements or written discourse, such as individual words, phrases, or sentences. It focuses on the details to understand how language is used at a granular level. On the other hand, macroanalysis involves looking at larger structures and patterns in discourse, considering overall organization, themes, and the relationship between paragraphs or sections. The next is about grammatical cohesive device. A grammatical cohesive device refers to elements in language that context different parts of a text at the grammatical level. Examples include pronouns, conjunction, and lexical items that signal relationships between sentences. These devices contribute to the overall coherence of a text by ensuring that a grammatical structure flows logically. The next is about cohesion and coherence. Cohesion refers to the grammatical and lexical device used to create a sense of communication connectedness within a text. It involves the use of various linguistic elements to link sentence and paragraphs. Coherence, on the other hand, is the overall quality of the text that make it logically and semantically sound. It relates to the clarity and smooth flow of ideas, ensuring the text makes sense a unified whole. The next is about lexical cohesive device. Lexical cohesive devices are elements in language that contribute to cohesion by using related words or lexical items to link different parts of a text. Examples include synonyms, antonyms, repetition, and other lexical choices that create a sense of unity and coherence in the language used throughout a written piece. The next question is about describe how to analyze text patterns in discourse analysis. And my answer is in discourse analysis, analyzing the patterns involves examining language structures, recurring themes, and communication strategies. Start by identifying key linguistic features such as repeated words, metaphors, and sentence structures. considers the context, tone, and any patterns of power dynamics. Pay attention to the use of pronouns, discourse markers, and speech acts to understand how meaning is constructed. Additionally, explore the overall structure of the text, looking for patterns in the organization of ideas. Ultimately, the process helps reveal underlying meanings and social dynamics within the discourse. The next question is about describe how to analyze sentence pattern in discourse analysis, and my answer is analyzing sentence patterns in discourse analysis involves examining the structure, syntax, and relationships within a sentence to understand their contribution to larger discourse. Steps include identifying key components such as subject, verb, and object, and analyzing how they interact to convey meaning. Additionally, consider discourse markers, conjunction, and sentence types to comprehend the overall flow and organization of information. Pay attention to repetition, transition, and the use of pronouns for insight into discourse cohesion and progression. The next question is about what factors to consider in selecting target discourse to be analysis to get required or relevant information on language use in context. Also explain why the factors are essential. And my answer is when selecting target discourse for analysis of language use in context, consider factors such as relevance to research objectives. Ensure the discourse aligns with the specific goals and objectives of your research. This helps in obtaining information directly related to your study. The next representative aim for a diverse sample that reflects the broader population or context or of interest, that ensures a more comprehensive understanding of language use in various situations. The next is about contextual variation. Include discourse from different contexts or formal, informal, professional age to capture variations in language use across settings, revealing nuance that might be overlooked in a more limited sample. The next is about temporal consideration. Account for change in language use over time by including discourse from different time periods. This helps in understanding linguistic evolution and cultural shifts. The next is about demographic diversity. Consider the demographic characteristic of the speaker or writer, such as age, gender, and cultural background. This adds depth to the analysis, uncovering potential influence on language choice. The next is about accessibility and availability. Ensure the availability and accessibility of the discourse you're planning to analysis. This includes considering issues like copyright restriction, ethical consideration, and practicality of optioning the data. And the last question is about, do you agree with saying that discourse analysis has significant contribution to English language pedagogy? Explain your answer with strong reasons. And my answer is yes. Discourse analysis plays a crucial role in English language pedagogy. By examining how language functions in different contexts, educators can enhance children's communicative competence, pragmatic skills, and cultural awareness. Analyzing discourse helps learners understand not just grammar and vocabulary, but also the social and cultural nuance of language use, facilitating more effective communication in real-life situations. The next is conclusion. The conclusion that I can draw from this final text discourse analysis assignment are: yes, I agree that discourse analysis has a significant contribution to English language pedagogy. Discourse analysis provides a framework for analyzing language use in context, which is essential for language teachers to understand how language functions in specific contexts and its role in shaping social reality and identities. By analyzing discourse language, teachers can gain insight into how language is used to construct and mentioning social reality and how language creates and maintains power relation. The next is the scope of discourse analysis. Discourse analysis encompasses a broad scope, encompasses not only the structure of language but also the social, cultural, and contextual dimensions of communication. In English language teaching, the scope of discourse analysis extends to examining language in use, discourse structures, conversational strategies, and the impact of power dynamics on communication. This holistic approach equips language educators with tools to navigate the dynamic landscape of language, making the learning experience more comprehensive for students. The next is about state your recommendation to teachers and learners of English. The first is for the teachers. Introduce basic concepts, provide real-world examples, interactive effectives, encourage critical thinking, utilize technology, connect with language proficiency goals, feedback and reflection. And the next is for English learners. Start with basic language skills, practice active listening, read widely, participate in discussions, analyze media content, seek feedback, utilizing technology for learning. Remember, both teachers and students must approach discourse analysis as a dynamic and developing skill. Consistent practice, reflection, and a willingness to explore different types of discourse will contribute to a deeper understanding of language use. So, First of all, I would like express my thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has made it easy for me to understand this material well. I would also like to thank my parents who have given me the facilities to be able to make this video. Then I also want to thank Dr. Kaharuddin SIPM as a lecturer in the Discourse Analysis course who has given me this assignment so that I have the opportunity to understand more deeply about this material, and thank my friends who have helped me to make this video can be complete on time. That's enough about the material, and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.